Hello friends, today I'm going to talk to you about my Camp WriMo plans. It's hot, it's loud outside. I had wanted to film this in the park, but it keeps saying it's going to rain and then not raining, and I don't want to go all the way there and then have to deal with this. So I thought, oh, I'll go on the balcony. The balcony's cute. No, there's a construction site next door, so that didn't work either. So here we are. Believe it or not, this is a green screen. I just wanted something that was like camp-esque, and I can't survive in the real outdoors right now anyway. It's incredibly hot, which for me is like 25 degrees. I can't. I have a heat allergy. So yeah, here we are. And it's been a busy month. I'm in a state right now, if you were to ask me, like, how's it going, I genuinely don't know how I would answer. I don't have an answer. I just don't. So, a few days ago, I was like, oh wow, Camp WriMo is coming up, and I nearly had forgotten about it, and I had to start scheduling hard and make sure that I can manage everything that I'm managing. If you don't know what Camp WriMo is, I know, like, if you've been around on my channel, I talk about this stuff all the time, but if this is your first video and you don't know what this is, I'm gonna tell you. So, Camp WriMo is like a mini NaNoWriMo. It takes place in July and also April. I couldn't participate in April just because I was traveling, and it wouldn't have worked. So April and July of every year, and you get to set your own goals. So if you want to run it like a full NaNoWriMo, you're of course welcome to, or you can do something more manageable and offbeat, kind of like REFERRALS. To add to my explanations, if you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, that's National Novel Writing Month. It takes place in November, and the goal is you write 50,000 words, complete the first draft of a new novel. I've done this successfully 2 years now, but this will be my first time participating in camp. So, what are my camp goals? For camp, I've decided to finally finish the draft of my fantasy epic, Synterra. If you've been hanging around on this channel for any amount of time, you've likely heard me mention it. I've been working on this thing for, I think, coming up on 2 decades-ish. I was around 13 when I did a piece of art that wound up inspiring this story. Understandably, it's changed a lot over the years. While I was struggling with perceived writer's block, which is something I don't really believe in these days, I would return to it and rewrite it every couple years. And with the rewrite would come some new segments, and that would just repeat in a cycle every few years. So take the old stuff, update it, add a few new chapters, leave it for a few years until I was properly inspired to come back and write it again. Terrible form, which I would not accept from myself now. So, more recently, I have worked on it consistently enough that I don't have to do a full rewrite every time I look at it. As I speak now, Centera is sitting at 86,124 words, and I'm on its 35th chapter. I do have the entire book outlined, so basing camp on that outline, I have roughly 11 chapters to go. I say roughly because that can always change. I might mush some together, I might split some apart, depends. I have no idea how long these chapters would be because I'm a plantser. So that means I outline lightly, not in any great depth. So I have each chapter divided up and then a few paragraphs just describing what's going to happen, and that's it. So some are lengthier descriptions, and that might change. You get what I'm saying. I decided a reasonable goal for camp would be to complete 1,000 words a day. So in the end, that'll be 31,000 words. Divide that by 11 chapters, and that's an estimated 2,818 words per chapter. With my current word and chapter count, my average words per chapter are 2,460. So I think that this is completely reasonable. Setting a goal of 1,000 words was actually kind of arbitrary, so once I went in and divided it up like that, I'm glad that it works out so well. What is Centera about, you may be asking? I will read you the little blurb that I've got up on my website. Keaira, Alethea, and Jacob are living out ordinary lives until they find themselves drawn into the warring world of Centera. Suddenly, the concerns of finding a job, sorting out their romantic relationships, and settling on a university major seem very small. Centera is a world the trio could only dream of in their wildest fantasies, and now it's their job to defend it. Now, this novel is definitely going to be part of a series. I can see this. I've done a lot of world building for it. I've got a map up on my bulletin board, and I could see this going on. Like, for now, I have 3 books for sure, but with the amount of characters and the races and everything, like, it could really extend into something huge if people wanted to read that and if I just allowed that to happen. And also, once it's edited, it'll be a pretty lengthy first novel, probably a 500-pager, if not more. I'm pretty excited about this since it's exactly the novel that I've always wanted to put out into the world. And while it's hard to say, I think that people will like it. I always say that with hesitation. Speaking of putting novels out into the world, it would be remiss of me not to throw in a little mention of my very first NaNoWriMo novel, A Time When Demons. This is coming out this Tuesday, July 5th. I finished this particular novel in 2020 and spent some time shopping it around to agents and publishers, but in the end, I did decide to self-publish, and I'm going to talk about that more, but just the way this past month has worked out, I'm going to have to put it off until post-camp, which is better in the end because I'll then have, almost a month of hopefully sales to talk about, talk about leading up the publishing process and then what happened after I published it. I am hosting a public launch party on my Discord server from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern on the 5th, so I really hope that I'll see you all there. I'll link all pertinent info in the description and probably the pinned comment down below, along with links to pre-order or purchase my book. Right now, there are ebook pre-orders, but there will be a softcover edition out, and that will be available right on July 5th. Amazon's kind of weird with those. More on that later. So I will also link Inkit, where I've placed the first 4 chapters as a sample, so if you're not sure if you want to buy it or not, you can read the first 4 chapters for free. You're welcome. All this being said, that's my plans for camp and my little novel update, and where content is concerned. I will be putting out updates on a weekly basis talking about camp, mostly on Fridays, except for the wrap video, which will be on the 31st or August 1st, because I like to leave it right to the end to do a proper wrap. During this time, I will also be doing my sprints. These are throughout the week. I generally do 3 a week. If you're participating in camp or not, you can join in. And I sprint from 8 to 10 p.m. on Wednesdays and Thursdays on Discord, and 1 to 3 p.m. on YouTube. Now, there are, I had wanted to do YouTube sprints once a week, but I've got a big project coming up this weekend, so I feel like I'm not going to do it this Saturday. And the only other one that will not happen is on the 16th, because I'm actually going to be going out of town for a camp experience. More like glamping, but you'll see. So 8 to 10, Wednesday, Thursday, Eastern, 1 to 3, Eastern, YouTube. Most Saturdays, not this coming Saturday, the 2nd, and not the 16th. I really cannot wait to just focus on writing over the next month, and I think it'll be a lot of fun to do this along with you. Thank you, as always, for watching and listening to me stress and ramble. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell button so you actually get notified when I put new videos out, and leave a comment. Let me know if you are participating in camp and what you're doing. If you're not, why? And would you consider it in the future? And last but not least, I hope that you are having a day that is just as wonderful as you are. Bye.